boys. Coming out of yesterday's practice, we all know it wasn't good enough. Today's practice, it's gotta be great. Game day's coming fast. Let's go out here and let's be great, okay?
Set! 180! Set! 230! Lock it! Set! 180! Set! Black 20! Black 5! Here we go! Look, there's a... Set! 230! Set! Black 20! Set! 230! Here we go! Black 1 Set! Black 80!
You have got one more opportunity. Let's go for gold.
Hey, big fella, swing over here. Let's go. We've been talking about you getting better every week. And you know what? Today you got better. Let's keep it up.
Set! 180! Set! 230! Set! Lucky!
The pressure is on. This one is for the gold. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain at 21 yards. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. First carry for James Conner. Able to slither by. And now running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. So give him the 1st down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
4 down. Set. Lock 80.
They'll try to run it. This is Conner. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 2nd down, Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me.
And he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Solid, 5 down. Set. 180. Check. Fresno.
They start with a give to counter. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, alert. Take 2 of them.
Roethlisberger will hand to counter. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to let this one go deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll drop it underneath to his running back, complete. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit. Where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackle made by Marcus Golden. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
After the penalty, it's Corral. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
They run it with Carson, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Seattle. Tyler Lockett. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run with Connor. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now it's Connor. Runs over him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers. Are able to strike for 6. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 14-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Nifty move. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Levante David not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 14-7 is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
This is Carson, and they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. If that didn't happen there, that play got swallowed up.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Torrey Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Marcus Golden. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game.
And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Roethlisberger now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
What's up? 59, what's up? 59, what's up?
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Marcus Golden in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Carson. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Carson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great... Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Connor. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Now Roethlisberger on first down. To the right side and complete to Washington. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Take both of them. Go. 4 down. Easy, easy.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. Now Wilson on second down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And again the footwork. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of the legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's Wilson to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slam. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's first and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle to Smith. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, Wilson. Buying time to his left. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Seahawks on third down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
On third down, Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where it was the Saints who come away with the victory at home. Alvin Kamara, a dynamite performance, over 200 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for nearly 300 yards already as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And he's getting close to that number 300. That's always kind of the benchmark for a great game for a quarterback, isn't it? 300 yards?
Similar to a runner going over 100 yards or a receiver having a 100-yard-plus day. For a quarterback to throw for over 300 yards or hit that number, that kind of separates you a little bit from just the average guys in the league. This puts you up there in the elites, and that's where everyone wants to be.
And a big reason why they're winning, obviously, too. Connor, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger will throw. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The tackle that time by William Hayes. Again, it's counter. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And they'll run it here. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a first. Goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage. Forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Baldwin. Doug Baldwin, 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
Now remember, still time. They can elect to kick it now from back at the 20.
You have to know what you have mentally from your kicker because the extra points have stressed these guys out all across the league. But I think at this stage of the game, I tried him out there and tried from the 20.
And he's got it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, If you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The drive will start with Connor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Connor. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Get up and stop them. On 3rd down, that's Connor, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And on the ground they go with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Jack 16. Set. Black 20.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. A first down carry now for Brown. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. A screen complete to Crowell. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now it's Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh, as we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rogers, his first touchdown. On the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Finding some room at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with his... Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Man open left side is Brown. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3. He may try and run for this. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They're going to run. Here's Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going top shelf for Smith. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That will be their third and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with second and goal coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. Fourth and goal.
50. Black 20. Black is on. Black is on.
Roethlisberger keeps it, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. So they went for it from the 1 on fourth and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be third and 15. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Throwing is Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And now out come the Steelers. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the
We got three down.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll run it here. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this up. Upcoming 2nd down play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
50. Set. 180.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that'll set them back 5. How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal.
66.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So the game-sealing play from Josh Norman. What a big one that was.
He's a guy that loves being the center of attention. And I think to play that position, you have to have that feeling because oftentimes you will be isolated out there against some of the best the game has to offer. And how about him finishing off this one with a game-clinching interception?
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.